Any questions here at the conclusion of this offseason?
Where have you seen Troy Franklin make his big strides over the course of the offseason?
Well, there's that repetition is the mother of learning, and you're seeing him play faster with a much greater awareness within each play. He's extremely explosive, and I think I would say 5 pounds heavier, a little thicker, but he's had a good spring.
You talked about these being good spring drills. What are some of the things you'd like to pinpoint as to why it was a successful offseason?
I would say this, and we're probably the only team that stays in phase 1 for 5 weeks. So I would say the most important thing we do is lift, change our bodies, run, condition. We'll have plenty of time for the football. And there's a reason we spend 5 weeks and we don't even go near. I don't want them pulling into the parking lot in April thinking they're coming to football practice. I want them coming here knowing that they're going to get a good workout in, good lift in. So that would be the most important thing.
What was the genesis of that methodology of learning to give the players that time to just focus on conditioning?
That was Bill. I remember I had the quarterbacks and receivers first week, they're lifting, and I got them out on the field. Now, they've been with us 4 days, and he walks to the door outside the practice field, and he's just looking at me. He says, if one of these receivers gets a hamstring, I'm going to have another quarterback receiver coach. And he was right. In other words, we don't know at that moment where they're at from a conditioning strength standpoint. And so I would say that was him.
In terms of the value of evaluating these practices without pass, because that's where the evaluation.
It's difficult.
What can you learn from this period?
What's real important is assignment, alignment. That can keep a player from playing. We always talk about three ways you're being evaluated. Does the player know what to do? Is he trying to do what's being coached? And then lastly, how well does he do it? So assignment, alignment, technique, those things.
Coach, what is your message to the team heading into this 5-week stretch right before?
Just, there's different messages depending on what practice we finished, but nothing I want to share.
Has Bo shown what he was telling us about the comfort level where instead of learning, it's just building on what you're doing? Do you see that?
Yeah.
I guess how's it show itself?
Less pause, less hesitation with the play call in the huddle. Less pause, less hesitation in the pocket. He's playing fast, and again protecting the ball. He's hard to sack. He was hard to sack in college, so you're seeing him play faster with more confidence.
Sean, what have you seen from Reed Burkhardt the last couple of years? His ability to evaluate the talent, his role now being assistant here.
Yeah, look, he's real important to our process. We got a good group. This must be a Reed warm and fuzzy article getting ready to happen, but I'll help you out with it. All right. Listen, he's passionate, and you have to be in that business. It can be lonely. It's not for everyone. Hotels, laptop, computer, film, and so he's got a real good eye for talent, and he's not afraid to give you his opinion, even if it's contrary to maybe what you want to hear.
Sean, even though you haven't seen this,
even
though you haven't seen this team in past, where is this group now compared to the group a year ago? How much better?
It's hard. It's hard to answer. You hope that we're further along because we played a lot of young players a year ago. $91 million dead cap, 2/3 of an operating budget, and so a lot of young players got a chance to play, and so you hope quite naturally that those guys are further along.
Sean, what was it like to see Zach Rossi back out here doing the offseason?
Fantastic. Awesome. It's nice to see his hair, too. He looks better when he has hair, but his story, and he had a tough year, but he's a fighter, and so it's inspiring.
Sean, with Devon Bailey, is he the only thing that's going to keep him out? Like
No. He's going to be full go. Start a training camp. Everything's good. We should be. That's it. That's it. Did you hear me?
Okay.
That's what that's it means. That means it stops. We should be. There may be one player, Perry, that might go a week into training camp, and then be ready, depending on how the summer goes. But outside of that, we expect everyone back.
Obviously, like injuries are unavoidable at some point, but with the rate at which you have been good at keeping guys healthy over the last 2 years.
Well, when I got here, you guys were like, oh, the field's jinxed, the surface, all these myths about it must be the way that, and it was all. I can understand why it felt that way, but you have to build callus. And so we can stay healthy in the preseason and not play our starters, but I know where that's going. You have to build a callus, and there's risk when you do that. But I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, I was just like, if you at some point, like, obviously you believe in the way that you think the players have to also.
Absolutely, we're selling the program. We're always selling. We're always selling.
Have you seen Sternad and Drew Sanders take a step up this offseason? They've been able to get a lot.
Well, when you look at the amount of snaps Sternad's had, all of a sudden, now there's a confidence. I'm not just a guy running down on special teams. I started a whole season, and Drew getting that work constantly inside, I think, is extremely helpful.
When did you realize Bo's methodology was unique and different for getting better results in terms of health, injuries, etc.?
It's a good question. I think one thing I would say, and take this the right way, if there's 32 teams, it's tough for those teams to all have great confidence in the training room. Now, we promote and want second, third opinions. That's not what I'm talking about. But there might be 4, and I'm not talking about that little BS survey that I'm talking about truly, and then when you have guys like Breeze, who's retired, flying to Baton Rouge for his rehab, like, that's earned over time. And it's earned by him with each individual player. And once again, you're selling. There's a trust that you believe in. And so I've been with him a long time. And that was a very important hire, like extremely important.
Sean, what's the value of Bo getting guys together?
Nix or Lowry?
Bo Nix getting guys together to work out and hang out in their time away?
I think most teams do it. Drew, have them come to San Diego. These guys will go work out 3 days. I think it's just spending time together, and I don't think it's unusual. And so, yeah, that's their time. And it's not our time to report on it either.
Coach, do you have any plans on what you're going to do that you're willing to share over the next 5 weeks?
I have plans I'm not willing to share.
Okay.